A surprise sword to the head, a lip sync that stunk, and a spurned cast member back for revenge. Saturday Night Live has been filled with moments that made a lot of people uncomfortable. In 2017, Twilight actor Kristen Stewart made her hosting debut on Saturday Night Live. During her monologue, Stewart charmed viewers with her famously coy persona and joked that she was too cool for school. The bit featured appearances from SNL stars Kate McKinnon and Adrien Brody, who wanted to prove they were also too cool for school. But just before walking off stage, Stewart fired off an accidental F-bomb.
We've got a great show, and I totally care that I'm here because it's the coolest thing ever. Oh.
McKinnon gasped in amusement, and Bryant couldn't stop laughing. In response, the audience roared with laughter. Stewart's F-bomb moment won over SNL fans, but the movie star was pretty embarrassed by the whole ordeal. Stewart told USA Today, "I felt so bad about it. I just came off stage apologizing profusely and being like, I'm so sorry, that's not something I thought was going to happen. And they were really nice about it. They were like, we still have an entire show to do, don't think about it." Viewers might have been a bit dazed by Stewart's mistake, but she wasn't the first to utter the expletive on air. Other SNL F-bombers include Paul Schaefer, Samuel L. Jackson, Prince, Charles Rocket, Sam Rockwell, and Jenny Slate. In 2004, pop singer Ashlee Simpson became the butt of many jokes when she got caught lip-syncing during her SNL performance. Simpson made it through her first song, Pieces of Me, without any issues, but it all fell apart when she took the stage to perform her next song. As the cameras rolled, the vocal track to Pieces of Me suddenly started to play again, leaving no doubt that Simpson's earlier performance hadn't actually been live. The singer paused momentarily, then resorted to doing a bizarre jig while her band continued riffing on their instruments. After several mortifying seconds, Simpson walked off stage, leaving her band behind, and a commercial break ensued. When the cameras rolled again, she threw her band under the bus.
Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? Live TV.
Exactly. I feel so bad my band started playing the wrong song, and I know what to do.
Media outlets declared that Simpson's SNL performance was career-defining, and not in a good way. In an episode of her E-series Ashlee and Evan, the singer reflected on her infamous lip-syncing flop.
And all of a sudden, happened, and it was like boom, and the world hated me for this SNL moment I had.
And while the performance had a deep and lasting effect on her and her career at the time, she's since allowed the experience to make her stronger. 2003 was a good year for actor Adrien Brody. He'd recently starred in the Oscar-winning film The Pianist and won an Oscar for Best Actor in a Leading Role. To capitalize on his popularity, SNL summoned Brody to host the show, but just as his career was soaring to new heights, the actor tanked his SNL performance with a deeply problematic impression that made viewers cringe. In an effort to play up the intro to Jamaican singer Sean Paul, Brody launched into a stereotype-filled impression of a Jamaican person.
Man, we got original rude boy Sean Paul here, me no respect all aspect, me respect, me expect.
The gag didn't go as planned, and Brody didn't get the reception he wanted. According to some versions of SNL lore, the impression was totally unscripted, and it earned Brody a permanent ban from the show. When asked about the purported ban by HuffPost, Brody claimed that he didn't receive any negative feedback from the SNL camp. In 1999, Christina Ricci hosted SNL, but things went downhill when the actor accidentally punched cast member Anna Gasteyer in the face. In the ill-fated sketch, Ricci played an out-of-control teen on an episode of Sally. The sketch also starred Molly Shannon as Ricci's mother and Gasteyer as the titular talk show host, Sally Jessy Raphael. Ricci's character was supposed to get angry and punch Gasteyer's character in the face, but when the moment came to deliver a fake punch, Ricci accidentally landed the blow right on Gasteyer's nose. Clearly in pain, Gasteyer reared back and covered her nose, but this was live television and the show had to go on, so both actors got back into character and finished the sketch. Reflecting on the infamous punch, Gasteyer acknowledged that hosting SNL can be a very scary experience for actors who aren't used to performing on live TV, telling SiriusXM, "Well, Christina Ricci had never performed live. She had started as a child actor on camera, so she had never been in front of a live audience before." Gasteyer also revealed that Ricci had consumed a lot of champagne before the show, which may have contributed to the bungled punch. Still, she easily forgave Ricci, Gasteyer recalled. She was terrified, she was shaking. She did great. Norm Macdonald joined the SNL cast in 1993. The comedian shined during his Weekend Update segment, but in 1998, Macdonald was fired from SNL during a phone call with an NBC executive.
And I said, oh, that's not good. And then I said, why is that now? And he goes, oh, you're not funny.
The following year, Macdonald got invited back as a host on SNL, and he used it as an opportunity to settle the score. During his opening monologue, Macdonald delivered a verbal smackdown, saying, "How did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny?"
Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad.
The audience responded with a mixture of laughter and jeers, but Macdonald stayed the course with his takedown. The actor ended his monologue saying,
"The bad news is, I'm still not funny. The good news is, the show blows."
SNL has seen plenty of eyebrow-raising performances, but in 1994, comedian Martin Lawrence delivered an awkward monologue for the ages, sharing his unsolicited opinions about feminine hygiene. Was he workshopping new material? The world may never know, but one thing is for sure, network censors weren't happy. After airing the live broadcast, NBC released an edited version of the episode without Lawrence's viewpoints. Lawrence's stunt earned him a ban from the entire NBC network, but he was unfazed by the negative press. After the incident, he told the Los Angeles Times, "I haven't done anything wrong, so I don't need to apologize to anybody. I'm a comedian and I make people laugh. My fans know me and they're not surprised by anything I say." 30 years later, everyone seems to have moved on. In a 2020 interview with Power 101.5 FM, Lawrence revealed that NBC has since apologized for banning him in the first place. Irish pop icon Sinead O'Connor was known for her political fervor. In 1992, O'Connor's politically charged musical performance sparked one of the biggest controversies in SNL history. During the show, O'Connor sang a cover of Bob Marley's War. As she belted the final note, the singer produced a photo of Pope John Paul II and ripped it apart.
Fight the real enemy.
The room fell silent. Record executive Daniel Glass told The Guardian, "I will never forget it. Everybody froze at SNL. The music producer Liz Welch went from jubilation to tears. No one stopped it. No one knew what to do." O'Connor's actions garnered backlash from the public and got her banned from SNL. Still, she doubled down on her condemnation of the Catholic Church, telling Time, "I consider them to be responsible for the destruction of entire races of people and the subsequent existence of domestic and child abuse in every country they went into." As years passed and the Catholic Church faced numerous child abuse scandals, critics began to reevaluate their attitudes toward O'Connor. The singer-songwriter told the New York Times in 2021, "I'm not sorry I did it. It was brilliant, but it was very traumatizing." In 1985, the Replacements found mainstream success when they released their acclaimed album, Tim. The band stayed true to their punk rock roots by refusing to play by the music industry's rules. When SNL invited the band on as musical guests, they probably should have foreseen the incoming disaster. The Replacements showed up drunk to their performance. While playing their song, Bastards of Young, frontman Paul Westerberg turned slightly away from the mic and yelled a profanity to the band's guitarist. Things slid further downhill when the band performed their second song, Kiss Me on the Bus. To the confusion of the SNL crew, the bandmates had switched outfits with each other during the break, and guitarist Bob Stinson accidentally blasted the audience with ear-splitting sonic feedback. In the end, SNL creator Lorne Michaels was furious with the band and vowed that they would never perform on television again, according to co-manager Russ Rieger. To most viewers, the performance was a total bust, but by punk show standards, it was a perfect 10. They didn't seem to mind their TV ban, telling Rolling Stone in 2016, "Rock and roll doesn't always make for great television, but we were trying to do whatever possible to make sure that was a memorable evening."
And by the way, tonight, look out for surprises. Ladies and gentlemen, Fear!
On Halloween of 1981, some audience members got a real-life scare when the hardcore punk band Fear performed on SNL. Fear had the good fortune of being friends with SNL legend John Belushi, and the comedian pulled some strings to get them on stage despite them being an unlikely fit for the show. Belushi wanted Fear's appearance to feel like a genuine punk show, so he invited some people from the hardcore community. When Fear started playing their song Let's Have a War, the relatively small SNL stage exploded into chaos, a blur of thrashing limbs and bodies of stage divers flying all around. Fear frontman Lee Ving later told Rolling Stone, "The real audience at Saturday Night Live was scared to death. They didn't know what was happening with all the mayhem. The camera people were trying to protect their cameras." During the commotion, an SNL stage manager got pelted with a pumpkin, and a rowdy audience member yelled into Ving's microphone, Producers immediately slapped Fear with a permanent ban, but the band thought it was a major overreaction. In 1992, Ving told the Los Angeles Times, "They said we caused $500,000 worth of damage, but nothing much really happened. Some piece of equipment worth $50 got broken." John Belushi helped cultivate SNL's legendary comedy formula as one of the original cast members. He was known for giving his all during performances, even if it meant pushing physical boundaries. In 1976, the comedian got too carried away on air and caused one of the wildest accidents in SNL history. During one of his famed samurai skits, Belushi stars as a samurai stockbroker alongside actor Buck Henry as an anxious client. The disaster happened at the end of the skit.
If this office had a window, I jump out of it. Yeah.
While hacking away at the wall, Belushi unknowingly lands the blade on Henry's forehead, causing the actor to stumble briefly off-screen. Henry finished the skit, received medical attention, and finished hosting the show with a giant bandage on his forehead. The rest of the cast also decided to don giant bandages as well. In a 2012 interview, Henry blamed himself for the sword snafu, telling the Television Academy Foundation, "I took a step forward when I should have not done anything on the set, and John swung his samurai sword and took a piece out of my forehead. There was a lot of blood on the set. It was very interesting. I don't know what the audience thought was happening."